Hi, I just tried to do this broadcast and it didn't record for some reason. So I'm quickly doing another one because I really want this message to come across. Now it's a really grey day out over London town, and but it is spring, so it may be winter outside, but in my heart it's spring. And I am really excited. As you're joining, I want you to just put your name in the chat box. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from. Welcome. My name is Dion Johnson. I am a strategic ally and master coach, and I work with fantastic, brilliant women in senior leadership all over the UK and internationally. And today, I really want to ask you a question. Are you lonely in leadership? Are you lonely in leadership? Saying that if I had a penny for everyone that told me that, a woman in leadership that told me that she has no one to talk to. She has no one to tell me this. Many times I'm speaking to a woman and she says, I haven't told anyone this. I haven't shared this with anyone. Nobody knows that I'm feeling like this. So I've known for a while, just as a leader myself and working with other leaders, that it can be really lonely as you climb up the leadership ranks. That the higher you go, the fewer people you find yourself surrounded by who you can be really honest with, and you can tell what you're really feeling or what you're really thinking. But here's the thing. I've learned, especially in my role as a midwife, all those years of being a midwife, I've seen, and it's my strongest conviction, that women aren't really supposed to be going through processes, especially painful processes, alone. It's not good for us to go through alone. And there's a story that I wanted to share with you about a woman who I met when she was really in the height of labour. Hiya, Sheree. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. I'm talking about loneliness in leadership, and how many women, as they climb to senior leadership, find themselves feeling more and more isolated, more and more lonely, and unable to really connect with people who they can feel they can be honest with about the reality of being a senior leader. And I want to share this story about a woman that I met in labour. I was on the labour ward on a shift, and I was asked to go to room 10 to take some medicine. And so picked the medicine up out of the cupboard, ran to room 10. And when I walked in, I saw this scene. I saw the midwife in the corner with her back towards the woman, and she was, busy with her paperwork. There's lots of paperwork involved when you're a midwife. And so she was busy with all this paperwork. And then on the other side of the room, on her knees on the floor, stumped over the bed, was this woman in high labour. I mean, she was she was sweating, she was disheveled, she looked so distressed. Her face was contorted with the pain, and she was using the gas and air. She was using the Entonox with a mouthpiece. She was pulling it, really dragging it out. It's this pain relief that you inhale, and she was inhaling it. Her neck veins were popping out with the intensity with which she was pulling on this gas and air, and she just held onto it for dear life. She just wouldn't let it go. And so my instinct was to go to this woman, right? So I walked over to her. We'd never met, we'd never spoken, I'd never laid eyes on her before, she'd never laid eyes on me, but I just sat next to her and I put my hand on her, and there was this real connection. We'd never spoken, but I put my hand on this woman, and I felt how tense she was. I felt how much this thing was challenging her. This process was challenging her, and we connected somehow. And after that contraction had gone, she was still holding on to the gas and air for dear life, like she was afraid to let it go. And I got up to go and give the drug to the midwife over there, and as I got up, she let go of the gas and air for a split second. She said, "Don't leave me." And then she put the gas and air back in her mouth and carried on pulling on it. And it struck me, it really struck me, just how powerful the connection was in helping that woman through her labour. I mean, we'd never met, we'd never spoken, we'd never laid eyes on each other. But just by creating that connection for those few seconds, I mean, it couldn't have been more than 2 minutes, really, she felt that she needed more of that in order to go through the next contraction and the next contraction and the next contraction. And I learned so much from that really tiny instant. It really touched me deep inside, and I realized just how powerful true, warm, real connection is when you're going through your process, when you're going through your journey. Now, I know that senior leadership is an evolutionary process, that even though you're a senior leader, that doesn't mean that you've stopped growing. And some of the things that you're challenged by right now, some of the isms and the schisms and the politics and the politricks and the challenges that you're facing right now, you, senior leader, woman of influence, facing right now, they're part of your process to be evolving as more and more of a woman of influence, the woman that you are evolving into. So here's the thing. It's not good to go through it alone. It's not good to just accept the loneliness. I encourage all of my clients to master the art of creating effective, real, and genuinely supportive networks. People that you can take your mask off and be real to. People who connect with you, believe in you, want you to succeed, and people who are not afraid to be with you when the going gets tough. That connection is priceless. That connection is real. That connection is necessary for you to stay the course and keep going and keep growing and keep evolving. So I'm encouraging you today, if you feel lonely in your leadership, that's a big prompt. I've come to call you today to question, where can I get support? Where can I connect? Where can I create that type of connection that when the going gets tough, I have somebody with their hand on my back willing me to get through it? And if you want to talk about how I might be able to support you to do that, then click the link that accompanies this video and we'll talk. But find somebody. Don't go through this alone, okay? Thinking of you today, cheering you on. You are a woman of influence. In fact, repeat after me. I am a woman of influence. Yes, you are. And I'll see you later. Bye.